Tom and Zeus with another episode of Shout It Out Loudcast. We're up to episode 19. This one is called Last Chance. Tommy up in New Hampshire, how the hell are you?
Hey, pretty good. Welcome, everyone. Another exciting evening with the Shout It Out I don't even know the name of our show anymore. You know who we are. You're listening. Welcome.
Yeah, that's good. Thank you for welcoming us. Things are good over there?
Yeah, great. Yeah, I'm excited for this evening. Are we excited for this evening, Zeus, or what?
I'm a little excited too because
we got a little surprise for you tonight. We're gonna turn the microphone over to
Stephen Michael from Growin Up Rock Podcast is with us tonight.
What's up there, Kiss Army?
Stephen, welcome, buddy. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me on to talk about Van Halen's last album. I really appreciate that shit, you guys. It's going to be awesome. Oh, wait, that's not what this is about, is it?
No, this is not the Gary Sharon podcast.
Shit, my bad. I thought we were going to discuss Van Halen 3. Not the good one. Not the women and children Van Halen 3.
Yeah, exactly.
I think your friend Sonny Hollywood Pooney gave you the wrong podcast information.
He just sent me a text with some numbers and said, here, talk to these guys. And I said, okay, great. And that's what I'll do. And he
Perfect.
said, by the way, wear your Kiss shirt. And I said, okay, I'll do that. But what are we going to be talking about? And he said, whatever the fuck you want. And I said, awesome.
That's about it.
Yeah,
so
he's wearing his Kiss shirt, but he forgot to put on his pants.
Nobody ever told me there was a dress code. Yeah. I'm not even drinking a glass of wine.
That's all right. There's plenty of time to get started on drinking. So we wanted to get Stephen on because, at least for me, I got introduced to Stephen from Sonny and listening to Sonny on podcast Rock City. And Tommy was telling me about his other podcast and listening to Sonny's show, Growin Up Rock Podcast. I like the theory and the concept and theory. Like, okay, they're talking about rock. However, I'm a little bit closed-minded. As I tell Tommy, and I've said it before, like all my music, I go backwards. I discover music that was in the past that I never got into, rather than hearing newer stuff. And I'm usually kind of, kind of anal about, I don't want to like this new band. I don't want to get into this stuff. But I will be honest with you, Stephen. I like some of the music you guys have on, and it's opened my eyes to stuff that I didn't realize. So, for those that are out there listening, and obviously if you're listening to a Kiss Rock podcast, Stephen's and Sonny's show and podcast is right up your alley. It's the same type of music.
Yeah, Stephen, give us a little bit of some insight for the people that might not be familiar with Growin Up Rock. We're huge fans of it, so tell us what we got, what people can look forward to by listening to that.
Yeah, so both Sonny and myself, we grew up in the 80s, essentially. So Growin Up Rock basically carries the flag for all hard rock and metal that came out basically from the late 70s through the 80s and into the 90s. So we kind of spotlight all of that stuff, but when you were just talking about some of the newer music, people think that rock and roll is dead and that nobody's putting out good music anymore, which is absolutely not true. If you like bands like Van Halen, AC/DC, Scorpions, Dokken, Kiss, Rush, all this type stuff from the 80s, then we're finding bands today that are putting out music that is very reminiscent of some of that stuff. And so we try to spotlight all that stuff. If it's got a good, hard guitar riff and thumping drums, I'm in. Sonny's into like shredders and really great vocals and good melodies. So we're kind of along the same lines in that way. But we definitely have two different types of taste. And so we bring all that kind of together and we share stories about growing up and seeing concerts and finding this band for the first time. And we share a lot of those stories. To go along with that, I have a background as a tour manager. So I spent a lot of time on the road, met a lot of people, have a lot of great stories, and once in a while I'll share some of those stories. In fact, I got a great Kiss story that maybe we'll go into a little bit later on.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I agree with what you're saying, Stephen, about how rock is not dead. And I think the reason why a lot of people think rock is dead is that it's hard to find. It's not as accessible because – you see the award shows, you see these singing competitions, you see pop music on the radio. It's not rock. I've told Zeus before, I've been a subscriber to satellite radio, and that's how I've been exposed to a lot of new music on, the new hard rock channel. They have Octane, which plays the new and up and coming bands. Even Ozzy's Boneyard sometimes will spotlight some new music by classic bands. So you have to really want to listen to that music like we all do to find it, because it's not readily accessible if you don't know where to get it.
Yeah, I mean, listen, even Sirius XM, Ozzy's Boneyard, Octane, all that stuff, we feel like radio is not a rock band's best friend anymore. And what I mean by that is even radio stations that are satellite like that, they'll still play the same 2 or 3 freaking songs that you'll always hear. For me, I'm a huge AC/DC fan. I'm a huge Kiss fan. Do I need to hear those same 3 fucking songs again? No, they both got huge catalogs with great shit. You're going to find out tonight when we talk about our theme tonight. You're going to find some songs that are deep into albums. At least you will on my list. So, we think that we want to spotlight bands. We're the new radio. Podcasts are the new radio. We're going to turn you on to music that by bands that you already love, that you didn't even know these songs existed because they play the same 2 or 3 songs. And then we're going to turn you on to bands that maybe sound similar to those bands, but are putting out great new music. And so nice. That's what we're going to do.
Awesome. Very cool.
To add to that, it is discouraging. When we were growing up, remember every MTV, like after school, they always had most requested video. They were all like hair bands and metal bands, right? I remember that. Yep. We all played some high school sports. What did we do on the bus rides or before the game? You're listening to that. I coach high school sports now. The shit that the kids listening to.
Oh, it's awful.
I walk in the locker room. I'm like, are you guys going to dance with each other? What the fuck is this music? How the hell are you getting excited for a hockey game and you're listening to fucking 2 guys dancing about in the club? Yeah, shaking your head. Like, what the fuck is that? I don't get it. Like, nothing beats. So we've been talking about the NHL playoffs because my Bruins are 1 win away from going to the Cup final. 1 win away, knock on wood. And you go to the arenas, I've been to 1 million games. Nothing's the same until they start playing rock music and the crowd gets into it.
Totally.
I don't give a shit what other stupid shit they play. The rock music gets the crowd into it. Yep. And that's the stuff that bugs me. It's like, where are we going to get this back? Who's going to be the new band that they have to play their song in an arena? Yeah. I don't see it. And it may be because it's out there, but it's not being publicized.
Hey, Zeus, I got a quick question for you. Hey, is hockey a real sport outside of Canada? Because I was unaware. I live down south, so I was unaware. I thought it was a Canadian thing.
Here we go.
But I didn't really know that hockey was actually a sport here in the States.
Yeah, it does. It works in real states because usually states don't have 2 hockey teams and lose them both. Like Atlanta.
True.
Is that Atlanta?
Oh,
I don't keep up with that shit.
Yeah,
is that
embarrassing?
That's where you are right now, Stephen, right? Atlanta?
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
Okay.
Go Hawks! Oh, I mean, count those banners.
We only play football and baseball here in Georgia.
28-3. But you know what's funny, Stephen? I'll give you another compliment. Prepping for the show a little more, I obviously I've been listening to your podcast, You had the episode about your Q&As, right?
Yeah, that just came out.
And there was a great part where somebody asked you about Canadian bands. I'm like, fucking Canadian bands? Who's the guy that wore the sunglasses at night? I'm like, what other Canadian bands off the top of my head? The only band I know is Rush, and they suck.
What?
So,
whoa!
Yeah, I'm with Sonny on that.
Whoa!
So let me finish this one thought.
Hold on, let me just press the goodbye button.
Hey, Steven, I'm a huge Rush fan. We're in solidarity here with Rush, me and you.
All right, well, there's two people on this call with taste.
Okay. Yeah. So getting back to what I was saying, you name some bands, and then you go into a song. You do that often. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is this song? So I had to rewind it like 3 to 4 times just so I wouldn't sound ignorant to bring this up to you. And I'm like, you name your favorite bands, and then you were stuck on 5. After Helix, I just remember the guy with the missing tooth in the videos. I don't know anything else about Helix. Then you said something like, I'm like, Ass Kick and something like Country Home. I'm like, what the fuck are those bands? But I liked the song that you played. And it was Wrong Side of Town, right?
Oh, Coney Hatch.
Coney Hatch.
And I'm like, what the fuck is this? I am Googling. I'm in court today as I was texting you guys, trying to look it up. I'm like, what the fuck is song Wrong Side of Town, Living in the Wrong? I'm like, what the? And I finally went back, got in my car, rewind it about 3-4 times, and I finally understood with that southern drawl. Finally understood what you were talking about, and I found the song. And what did I do this afternoon to you, Tom?
Yeah, Steve, this was funny. So Zeus sends me the thing about Coney Hatch. I'm like, yeah, dude. I'm like, Monkey Bars, Coney Hatch, a cool band, great song. He's like, I've never heard of this band before in my life.
And I'm like, listen to this song. Listen to the vocals. Listen to this solo. This song kicks ass.
Yeah, good stuff.
Where did I learn that? And I'm a stubborn, closed-minded bastard. And I learned it listening to you, Dad. You.
Yeah.
Stick with me, brother. We'll carry the flag of rock and roll.
Yeah. So listeners out there that are like, I just like, Kiss, AC/DC, Van Halen, that's it. You'll open your ears, jackass, and go listen to these guys because they have a great show. I love the shit that you guys give each other, and I would say you give Sonny more shit than he gives you.
Oh, totally, yeah. Totally.
Sonny definitely is not the shit giver. I give shit, and I do it in a loving way, and by loving, I mean I grease him up first, but but. Yeah, I mean, listen, I was born a smartass. What can I tell you? Well, I got it built in my DNA. I grew up with a big family and a lot of smartass friends, so it was kill or be killed.
Good, so you'll fit in perfectly here.
Absolutely.
Perfect. So what do we got, Zeus?
So let's get into we learned a little bit about Sonny and his show.
Steven.
Sonny and Steven show, excuse me. Or should I say Steven and Sonny show? We have something we call the Murph questions.
Kudos to our buddy Murph.
Yeah, in his little Kiss footy pajamas in his house, probably listening to this Saturday morning. So we have a couple questions for you.
Right on.
Number 1, who's your favorite Kiss member?
I have to probably go back and forth between Paul and Ace, but I think it's really Paul. I think he does the majority of songs that I love.
Okay. Favorite Kiss song?
Oh, let's go with I Stole Your Love.
Yes. Good
call.
Tommy's got a
boner.
Yes. Excellent.
Favorite Kiss album?
That's a tough one. So I came in on Creatures of the Night, but probably my favorite Kiss album at this point is maybe Rock and Roll Over. Love Gun's awfully good as well. So I don't know. Perfect. I'm not good at picking favorites.
Yeah, I heard the episode. So how many Kiss concerts have you been to?
I'm not one of those Kiss nerds that knows the exact number, but let's say less than 10, more than 5.
Okay. Have you been to any? Have you seen them on the End of the Road tour yet? Or are you planning to on?
I have. Myself and all the PRC guys saw them in Vegas.
Oh, that's right. You were part of that show. That's right. I apologize. That's right. Okay, cool.
Favorite Kiss memory?
Favorite Kiss memory. Well, I have two. How's that?
Okay.
Share.
So one of them is me sneaking out of my house when I was 16 or 17. I was in high school. I snuck out on a weeknight, a school night, and went with a friend 2 hours up the road to see Kiss on the Creatures of the Night tour with Vandenberg and Riot opening.
Oh, wow, what a bill.
And some say it was the Lick It Up tour. It was a half house, and I remember those specific openers. It was Vinnie Vincent in makeup with the rest of them, but I could have sworn it was the Creatures tour. But anyway,
and you said you had another one,
and the other one was as a 16-year-old kid working at the local arena. I was able to. And 16, 17, 18, somewhere in there, I was working at the local arena and helped Eric Carr's drum tech set up his drums on the Animalize tour. So
shit,
whatever year that was.
Nice.
I still have my original crew pass from that night.
Oh, that's awesome. That's very cool.
Damn.
Nice.
That is awesome. Tom, you had some other questions you wanted to ask Steven.
Yeah, so we have a couple of additional non-Kiss questions whenever we have a guest on, like we did with Sonny and with yourself. So first one, so for me, I'm a huge fan of reading rock bios or rock history, and I'm a huge fan of watching rock documentaries. Do you have any particular favorite rock book or documentary that kind of sticks out in your mind?
Yeah, I got a couple. I like the rock docs a whole lot, and I don't have to read those because really I can't read past a fourth grade level, to speak. So, yeah, thanks so much for bringing that up. I appreciate that. But anyway, no, I just recently read the Karma on a Piece book.
Wow.
Something like Sticks, Sex, something. I can't even remember the name of it at this point. That was pretty good.
Okay.
That book was pretty good. I read Dee Snider's Shut Up and Pass Me the Mic. That was pretty good.
Okay.
Duff McKagan's book is really good.
Yes, I've mentioned that one before. That is a must read if you're a music fan, Guns N' Roses fan. That's awesome.
Yeah, his first one. That's the one that's really good. And he comes across very intelligent in that book.
Very.
So I really enjoyed that. As far as the rock doc flicks, pictures, movie thingies, I think both Rush documentaries were amazing.
Oh, absolutely.
Just fantastic documentaries, both of those. What else did I see that I liked quite a bit? I just recently watched the Joan Jett one on Hulu. That was pretty good.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that was all right.
Nice.
I haven't seen it yet, but I want to watch this Robert Johnson one, Devil at the Crossroads. That's on Netflix right now, but I just haven't checked it out yet.
Nice. Very cool. One other one. So what would be your – what do you think you spend the most time listening to? Like us, we listen to a ton of different bands. We focus obviously on Kiss. What would you say that would be your kind of go-to if you're kind of getting ready for a long drive or something like that?
I listen to a lot of podcasts. I was going to put something on social media that said, where do you guys find time to listen to everything? Because I see people posting pictures of, this album on their turntable, and it's like, I'm listening to this album. And I don't know about you guys, but I find it tough to work, be a husband, and find time to listen to stuff in its entirety. I mean, I Spotify a lot of stuff. Like, I'll listen to spots here and there, but I literally have to force myself to listen to an album from start to finish these days because I just don't have the attention or the time, basically, to go through a 45, 50-minute album. I listen to the majority of stuff in my car because Atlanta traffic sucks ass. So, you have time to listen to stuff in your car, but that's really about the only time I can find before sneaking in a song or two here and there, like, when you're showering or at the gym or whatever, Yep.
Yeah, I've been cursed with a long commute to and from work. So I fill that void with podcasts and music. So I've kind of turned that, and it gives me that time to catch up on old music, new music, and the podcast. So, but you're right, though. It is tough to kind of fit in the time to do that with family and work.
I just recently got the new Whitesnake record, which I think is really a good, solid record. I've been listening to that a couple times, which I just literally got 2 or 3 days ago.
Yep.
But I try to listen to new stuff. I'll see somebody post something about this band and I'll be like, okay, well, Spotify makes it real easy for me to go check it out, and I'll scan it for a verse and a chorus, and if I like it, then I'll go back to it. If not, it's on to the next.
Cool. Zeus, what do you got?
Yeah, I was going to say I'm the opposite. Tommy cursed me in some sense because he got me into podcasts. Before podcasts, my commute's not that long, so I had my go-to music, and what I like to do is pick out my favorite tracks of certain songs, put those on in my commute. It's a 15-minute commute, so I don't really have time to really put in a whole new album and listen to it. I have that, and I have like I told Tom, I know you blow me away, but I have 12,000 songs on my iPod, on my iPhone. So everything's on shuffle. So from everything to country to the Supremes to Kiss to you name it is on my iPhone. I like it that way. It's random, and I know the bands. And then every once in a while there'll be a band that I really like, but there's a song that I don't know. So to me, it's new music, but it's from artists that I like. So I like doing it that way. And then Tommy got me into the podcast. So in my commute, I listen to the podcast. So like you, I have a hard time getting into new music. But if it's from an artist that I like, I will find the time to listen to it.
Yeah.
But new bands, other than catching it on a podcast like yours, if it doesn't come in my orbit, I won't find it.
Yeah.
Let me go on to my couple questions I had for you. I want to ask you, you listen to a lot of bands and a lot of more, variety of bands than we do. Can you name me one band that we should look into that you say, you know what? I know your style. You like Kiss and that type of music. You'll like this band. Give them a try.
Well, you guys have heard of all the classic 76 stuff, right?
Yeah. Classic 78.
Classic 78. Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you guys
that was the band that we heard.
On Joe Polo's
yes.
thing. Yep.
Yes.
Yep. I liked it.
Okay, good. I mean, that band, if you're a Kiss lover, then there's no reason you shouldn't like that stuff. It's fantastic.
It is really good.
As far as stuff that you wouldn't have heard of that you might like, I mean, I like melodic rock. So there's any number of bands that I could turn you on to, newer bands that I could turn you on to, even older bands that you might not have heard of. And it just depends. I mean, there's
You mean like Coney Hatch?
Coney Hatch, perfect example. There's a band called Eclipse that you guys may not have heard of. They're amazing. There's a lot of great rock and roll coming out of Sweden these days.
Wow.
And it's very melodic and, heavy guitar, melodic, great singers, good vocals, well-written songs. And a band like Eclipse is one of the forerunners out of Sweden that's just amazing. They're a fantastic band.
Cool.
What else would I tell you to go after? Gosh, just so much. Ammunition is another band. Cruel Intentions is another band. I mean, there's tons of them.
Yeah,
tons.
Movie.
Yeah.
Cruel Intentions. Yeah. No, this is the band.
Damn.
If you're a fan of
I'm sorry, Steven, go ahead.
I was just going to say, if you're a fan of Guns N' Roses, you might dig Cruel Intentions.
Okay.
All right. So the other thing is, you sound like me. You listen to other podcasts. Give me a podcast, a non-music podcast that you listen to. You recommend.
I do listen to the majority of music podcasts. I have to say, I don't listen to a whole lot of. I listen to some financial podcast, just because I'm always interested on how to handle money, and I kind of study up on that kind of stuff. Pride myself in being good with money. So
good.
I listen to some of those type things. I like Dave Ramsey and guys like that, but mostly it's all music podcast or music related podcast.
Give me one music one.
One music one.
Yeah,
well,
we should put on our rotation.
Well, don't listen to it with kids, but my friends over at Cobras and Fire are always hilarious. It's basically a comedy podcast, but it's centers around hard rock and metal, and those two guys are amusing.
Okay, what's the name of the show again?
I've listened to a couple.
Yeah, Cobras and Fire.
Okay.
I've listened to a couple of them before. Yeah, because I subscribe to probably like 50 different podcasts, ranging from music to movies to entertainment, TV show kind of things like that. So I have heard of them. Those guys are pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's completely ridiculousness. So you just can't take anything serious.
Right. Nice.
So Tommy? Why don't you throw out one that you like that we don't know about?
Oh boy, you put me on the spot here now.
That's right.
So you're talking here's
a music and a non-music one that you listen to.
Okay, hold on, because now I got to pull up my library. So most of the let me see. Most of the stuff, as you know, Zeus and Steven, if you don't know, when I'm not listening to music, I'm a huge horror movie fan. I'm obsessed with following them on Twitter, podcasts, et cetera. But I'm also a movie fan as well. There's a hilarious podcast. They're all comedians. They actually do a tour, and it's called The Last Podcast on the Left. Mm-hmm. What they do is they talk about true crime stories, or they talk about really dark subject matters, but they're all comedians. It's a group of 3 of them. Uh-huh. And they turn the darkest, most disturbing topics into something that you can't believe you're laughing your ass off. There's 3 of them. They have one guy who's kind of like the main host, one guy who's kind of the jokester, and one guy that's kind of like the research guy. And they'll do like a 3-part, series on, serial killers. And you're like, well, do I really want to listen to this stuff? But they are hilarious. It's extremely entertaining. They'll talk about current events. They'll talk about, cult things. It's super entertaining. So that's one that I find myself listening to a lot.
So I don't want to get too far off subject, but I'll just give you this podcast, and you might enjoy this. Just go check it out. It's called The Dollop.
Okay.
Just go check it out, because it sounds sort of similar to what you just described.
Yep.
And it's fantastic as well. It's called The Dollop.
Okay.
And for movies, damn good movie memories from our friend Brian Davis. He does a great movie podcast.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
What do we got next?
I'm going to throw out one. I always listen to. I'm a political junkie. I listen to Words Matter. I like that a lot. It used to be hosted by Steve Schmidt and Elise Jordan, who are Republicans, but until the guy had a breakdown on the air, which they actually aired the episode, and he just walked off his own podcast. That was awesome. Nice. That's a great political junkie kind of show. And obviously the KISS podcast that we always drop, and I always love my buddy, my big love for Talk is Jericho, because I still like wrestling. I like his music takes. And I don't care how big of a star he is, he still talks like a fan. When he talks about music, when he talks about movies, he nerds out like the rest of us, and I love it. So, before this becomes a 5-part miniseries, let's get on to the Kiss news, Tommy. What's going on?
Yeah, so I got some quick news. It's actually, this wasn't even planned. It's just perfect timing. So anybody that's been on the internet, you're aware that Kiss and Crocs have come together to make Kiss Crocs, of course. How hilarious is that? So this is kind of funny. So my wife's college roommate and best friend, Zeus knows her, Lisa, she now lives out in Colorado. And she works for Crocs. The Crocs Corporation is headquartered out of Colorado. So before my wife even had to reach out to her, she reached out to my wife and said, "Does Tommy know that Kiss is making Crocs?" And of course she said, yes, he knows well away. He's trying to see if you can get discounts on it. So Lisa had a funny story. She said that while she's at work, as the big reveal, the big thing was getting ready to launch, they're at like a meeting, and somebody came into the meeting and asked for one of the upper manager, one of the CFOs, CEOs, and said, I hate to interrupt the meeting, but Gene Simmons is on the phone for you. And everybody was like, Gene Simmons from Kiss? Like everybody at Crocs, all these friggin', shoe people, like, what? So they were flipping out. And then when they did the big presentation of the product, they had people come in dressed in Kiss makeup to like show like the Crocs people, like this is the new product, the Kiss stuff. So Lisa said it was hilarious because she pretty much knows Kiss, just common knowledge just from what she sees on TV and whatever. She's like, it was a weird scene. And then they're doing another promo. Kiss is playing in Colorado in September, so they were giving away free tickets to Crocs employees to go to the show in September. All kinds of crazy Kiss promos. So then the big question is, my wife reaches out to Lisa and says, "Can you get a discount?" No discount. So I said, is this friggin' Gene Simmons at work again? So apparently she said anytime Crocs goes into a licensing agreement with, whether it's like, say, if they make like baseball Crocs or, they can't nobody, including the employees, can get any kind of discount or any kind of product. So if you want your Kiss Crocs, you got to pay $50.
Yeah, I'm
right.
good.
Right, Steven? Did you pre-order them already?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah, same here. I'm going to get my ass kicked because I'm wearing Crocs.
People think you're a jerk because you like Kiss. No, people think you're a jerk because you wear Kiss Crocs.
Absolutely.
Double worse. I can't wait to see Tommy put some black socks and wear those Crocs down to the beach. That'll be fantastic.
Believe me, when my order comes in, I will show them on Twitter.
Oh,
please put black socks on when you wear them. Please.
Act like I don't know them. Man.
So other than that, I got nothing. Just that kind of timely and topical story.
I have one little piece of Kiss news. So I don't know if anybody watches some of these vocal talent shows, but my wife and I do. And we watched American Idol the other day, and the kid does Hard Luck Woman.
No kidding.
On there.
I didn't see that.
Wow. Yeah, he had the perfect voice for it. He's got kind of a gravelly voice. He's a big kid and fantastic singer, but he whipped out Hard Luck Woman. Did a good job.
Very, very cool. Nice.
Oh, he's copying the best singer in the band.
Well, here we go.
Yeah. So the couple things that I saw about Kiss. Number one was that Kiss is ending the first part of the U.S. leg, right? They're ending it in the end of September in LA. They opened up. They're having another show in LA.
Yes, popular demand.
Right?
Yep.
By popular demand, and people are flipping out like, "Oh, it's going to be New York." It's like, relax, people. This isn't the last show of the whole tour, just on this leg. So people are like all panicking, getting mad. But that LA show, I believe, is the last show before they do the Kiss cruise. That's what they announced.
Okay.
Yeah, and then the last thing I wanted to bring up was it looks like Paul chimed in on his on the feud between Gene and Ace, and he says, "I wouldn't lose any sleep over it. I think whatever ill will or anger out there usually dissipates over time. Hopefully it will. The difference between us and other families or other relationship is that ours finds our ways into the news. Everybody goes through these things that are similar, but in our case, it's entertainment for people. Yeah, usually because you throw it out there when you're shitting on Peter all the time. You're talking about Ace and Gene, but what about you?
Yeah, exactly. Please.
Yeah, and I know he's been hawking his book. He's done some good shows. There were some YouTube clips I saw of him, promoting his show on local, on national, stations, going on, talking about his book and stuff. We talked all about the book last week, and we gave our thoughts about it. I apparently did well, landed in top 20. So I'm sure he's happy, selling well.
Yeah. Now you had something else, Zeus. You were going to mention something else about the tour itself.
Yeah, so the first leg, the first part, the statistics came out. They sold their tickets, ended up making about $50 million on this tour.
Wow.
So as I was saying last week, hey Stuart, go eat a fucking bag of dicks.
Exactly. So, with that being said,
hold on, I got to hear this. Do you have any opinions about this whole Stewart versus Kiss kind of controversy? Do you have any thoughts or opinions?
Nah, I've already voiced my opinions about that whole thing and the whole lip sync thing. I've voiced them time and time again. So
good.
I'm not going to bore the listeners with that shit anymore.
Okay.
I just want an excuse to hear somebody else shit on Stewart some more. Fucking crybaby. Anyways, what's our topic of this week? What are we talking about?
We are talking Kiss closers. So as Zeus said at the beginning of the episode, the title is Last Chance. So we're going to talk about our top 5 worst and top 5 best Kiss closers, last songs on the album. And we're going with just studio releases and solo albums. We're not going with any deluxe remasters or compilations or live albums. Studio releases and the 4 solo albums. Best and worst closing songs.
So before we get into the Kiss ones, do you guys have any thoughts? How about you, Steven? Closing tracks like to an album. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, so I gave it a little bit of thought. I went through my library and checked out and picked out a handful. So here's a handful of amazing closing tracks, to me, amazing closing tracks. Rocket Queen off of Appetite Destruction.
Best one.
Simple Rhyme off of Women and Children First.
Yes.
Hallowed Be Thy Name off of Number of the Beast.
Yes.
Devil's Child off of Screaming for Vengeance.
Ooh.
Steeler off of British Steel. When the Levee Breaks off of 4. The Ocean. Closing track. Fantastic. Diary of a Madman off of Ozzy's record, obviously. A Day in the Life off of Sgt. Pepper. Working Man off the First Rush. Passage to Bangkok off of 2112. Nice. And the Zoo off of Animal Magnetism, the Scorpions.
Ugh.
Great tune. Tommy?
Well, I was going to say for my money in my era, I think Rocket Queen is like the king of all closers, probably because that's my favorite non-Kiss album. But like Steven said, the Zeppelin had a knack for really nailing it with closing tracks. They did a really good job. You mentioned In a Simple Rhyme. Van Halen didn't really take their closing tracks very seriously on a lot of their albums. They some bands don't seem to really kind of pay attention to that. I thought one that's a little bit more modern quote unquote, came out 28 years ago. It might not flow with the style of the album, but when I first listened to Pearl Jam's 10 album, I thought them closing with Release was kind of awesome. I think it's like an epic closer. I think Release is a really good one. I think Dokken closing with Dream Warriors on Back for the Attack is a great one. But I thought, it's tough because to me, I don't want an album to land with a thud. And, pretty tight. Led Zeppelin 2, I think, if I recall correctly, was Bring It On. That's another powerful way to end an album. So I was looking at Metallica. Metallica had a knack some of their albums for really ending with some killer ones. Damage Incorporated off Master of Puppets. Stuff like that. I thought they did a good job too. Zeus, what about you, bud?
All right. So a couple things. I think the trifecta is Rocket Queen. I had that. All three of us had that.
Yeah, totally.
I just like the way it changes the groove at the end. And it just sounds like it kicks you in the ass. Just a whole, you know what? It changes the ball game for music for me. When you play that album, you're like, guess what, guys? There's a new fucking king in town, and they're taking over. That album just perfect. I thought it was funny because there's certain bands that take that serious. You look at that, and then you also look at, they did Use Your Illusion. They end with Coma on one of them, which is fucking insane. I love that song.
Great
But
song.
on the other hand, they end with My World, which is horrible.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
And then you could do the same thing with Zeppelin. I had a couple Zeppelin ones. I'm with you. When the Levee Breaks. What a way to end an album, right? But then on my favorite Zeppelin album, they end with Hats Off to Roy Harper. What the fuck was that? So there's some people that don't have it. A couple other ones that are kick ass for me that stick out. I think Rock and Roll Ain't Noise Pollution on Back in Black is a great one to end.
Yep.
I like Suicide on Super Unknown. I think it's such a great way to end the song, that album.
That might be my favorite song on that album.
Yeah, exactly. And I
Good
just
call.
think it's so Something in the Way for Nevermind.
Oh,
the way
yeah.
it just drifts off, kind of, just soothing out the way to end that. I love How Many More Times. That's probably maybe my favorite Zeppelin song.
Yep.
And the way that ends, the build up in the middle. Plus, it's the bonus that it gives us the song Love Gun right in the middle. How can you not love it? And another big one for me is The Last Resort from Hotel California. And finally, I will end with maybe my favorite closing track on any album. And it just fits because it's probably you guys call it your desert albums. One that sticks out for me and made me a huge fan of the band, and that is REM's perfect album, Automatic for the People. And Find the River is probably my favorite closing track of all. Wow. I absolutely adore that song. It is so unbelievable. So those are my things. When I think of closing tracks, those ones kind of stick out to me. Yeah. What a way to end an album.
Good picks. Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to go to Kiss. And if we go alphabetical, it'll go Stephen, Tom, Zeus. So this is not going to be your worst Kiss closing track, Stephen. This is the fifth worst closing track.
Yeah, so we're gonna work our way down from 5 to 1 with the worst, so that we can end on a high note.
Number 5 for you. What is the fifth worst Kiss closing track? And ladies and gentlemen, there are 24 of them out there.
Yeah, so like I alerted you guys, I didn't exactly play by the rules. So here's what I'm doing. I put together an actual album. And this album is going to be best to worst. That's the title of it. It's going to have the 4 icons, the 4 talisman heads on the album cover with the shit emoji in the middle. Okay. And so that's what the album cover is going to look like. And so side 2 of the album is the worst side. And so if you guys want me to start with the 5th song on side 2, it's a little tune I like to call I Walk Alone.
Ooh. Zeus, thoughts?
I love that song.
I knew it.
I love that song. What are you doing to Bruce?
Oh.
It's not a Kiss song, but it's a good song.
I like Bruce, but that song is just kind of meh. It's not great.
I hear what you're saying, Steven. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but there was such a huge pile of shit to choose from here that it just didn't make the cut.
See, and I told you guys, I'm fairly easily entertained, so I had a whole lot harder time picking my favorites, my best of, rather than my worst of. My worst of was really simple to pick. And let me be on record by saying I don't hate Carnival of Souls. I know a lot of people hated it.
I
I don't hate it. I won't go so far as to say I love it, but I don't hate it. And I Walk Alone is just one of those tunes that out of the bunch that I had to choose from, that one kind of fell short for me.
Okay.
Gotcha. Okay. Tom, you're up.
All right. So my fifth worst closer is the closer on the worst Kiss album, in my opinion. The closer on Monster, Right Here, Right Now. The song is, it's just not good. I can't get past that album. I try. I can't listen to Monster. Steven is shaking his head telling me why I'm wrong.
There's nothing wrong with that album. I mean,
okay.
There's nothing wrong with that album, and that song is not that bad. It's certainly not the worst Kiss album by any stretch of the imagination.
This is why Steven's on the show.
So your song, Last Chance, right?
What's that?
Your song is Last Chance.
No, Right Here, Right Now. What do you mean, Last Chance?
No, Last Chance is the last song on Monster.
Not on my copy.
You have the wrong copy. I told you not to buy it from that dude on the streets.
Why does my copy of Monster have Right Here, Right Now as the last song?
Do you mean the Van Halen song?
No,
yeah, that's Van Halen track.
My version of do we have controversy here now?
This is why Tommy doesn't like Monster, because he actually has the wrong album. It's not even Kiss. Good job, Tommy.
My version of Monster has Right Here, Right Now as the last song.
Dude, are you making me lose my mind?
I have it right here. I can show you. I have it right here.
Show it to me.
Okay, give me 1 second. This is hilarious. I can't believe this. We have controversy.
I think we need to get the edit part of this video going, Steven.
What's great is he's gonna have this Maxell tape with a handwritten cover that says Monster on it.
I'm taking a.
What the hell is Right Here, Right Now? Do you know that song, Steven?
I don't know. I'm looking it up right now.
I am taking a screenshot of my music library. It's coming right now. You see, Take Me Down Below, then Last Chance, then Right Here, Right Now is the 13th song.
Hold on. I'm getting there.
13th song.
Yep.
I don't know what Right Here, Right Now is. Do you, Steven?
Hold on. I'm getting there. Give me a minute. It's taking me forever to get there.
This is excellent. I love this controversy.
Here we go. Monster. Okay, so Monster, I don't have 13 songs. I only have 12.
So what the hell version of Monster do I have?
You have the version that you bought off that dude on the street. I already told you.
I did not get that.
It's a handwritten cover that says Kiss Monster, and they spelled Monster wrong.
I edit all this shit out, don't I? What the fuck is Right Here, Right Now?
I say leave it in. It's funny as shit.
I was just going to say leave it in. Look at
what the fuck is Right Here, Right Now?
Play it. You're not editing this out, because what's going to happen is when you edit in the music, you're going to play the song Right Here, Right Now. It's terrible. Why is it on my version of Monster?
Listen to Last Chance. It's a pretty good song.
Throw that on there if we want to go by that rule.
iTunes Tour Edit Bonus Track. Buy the CD, Tommy. It's not on the CD.
That's from my CD. That's the mute. That was downloaded onto my phone from the Monster CD.
Can't be. It says on Wikipedia, iTunes Tour Edition Bonus Track.
Oh.
I don't even know that song.
All right, then you know what? Hey, this is what we'll do. The album sucks, so Last Chance will count that as number 5. Okay.
Hell or Hallelujah. I like Freak too.
Can I edit this whole shit out?
No way, dude. This is funny.
Tommy is wrong. Next.
I'm wrong, apparently.
My last song, 5th worst, is Last Chance on Monster. Why I'm like, am I crazy? What's he talking about?
I love it.
God, man, you guys' worst album doesn't stand a chance against mine. What the hell?
And but I will add this, Steven. Last Chance for me is, like you said, for I Walk Alone. I had a hard time getting this in there. I don't dislike this, but of the songs that I was going to pick, I put this in there. I thought, you know what? I put this as number 5.
When Kiss fans hear my worst list, they're going to be looking at you guys going, "There's no way that song is worse than these songs." I mean, these songs are awful that I'm putting on the list. I Walk Alone is the best off of that list. That's why it's at number 5.
Actually, I like that song. So, all right. After I edit Tommy's shit, number 4
You're not editing anything.
Number 4 for you, Steven.
Number 4 for me is Journey of 1,000 Years off of Psycho Circus. Shit.
Yes.
I like that song, Steven.
God damn. I mean, do you even like rock and roll at all? I mean,
I do not like it. It's got a cool groove and it goes into the outro. I like that.
Do your buddies give you shit when you go to the hockey game carrying a purse?
Oh, great song. I like it.
Dang.
All right. Well, I'm next, so I'm going to make Steven feel better because shockingly, that's also number 4 on my list. Journey of 1,000 Years.
Yes, it's shit.
The song is garbage.
You guys have bad taste. This is like reminding me, I'm having flashbacks to the Sunny episode where the two of you ganged up on me.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Oh, it gets worse. Don't worry.
Number 4 for me is this. Now, I know what you might be thinking. I probably shouldn't put this in, but I don't like instrumentals. Car Jam 1981.
See, I'm fine with that, but I kind of went with I kind of thought we weren't counting like instrumentals and stuff, so I wasn't sure whether Car Jam was going to be the last song on Revenge or I Just Wanna. So I didn't pick either one, obviously, but yeah, I mean, instrumentals, whatever. I don't think anybody would fault you for that.
Yeah. The other thing is too, the interesting thing about that is that song then eventually comes on Fraley's Comet and becomes Breakout.
Yeah.
Which is why Eric Carr is credited for as a songwriter on that song.
Right.
What a great song.
Yeah, it is. I don't mind. I know you don't like instrumentals. I actually like them, and I don't mind Car Jam, especially.
I look at it this way: when it's on my shuffle and it comes on, I'm driving. Guess what? Next.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So, all right, Steven, you got number 3 for you, buddy.
All right. So my list still gets worse, and Car Jam isn't worse than any of this crap. So next, the number 3 track on this piece of shit is. That's right. That's that hunk of shit from Love Gun, and otherwise great record, Then She Kissed Me. Really? Really? Do we need that on an album like Love Gun? Seriously? The album that bought us I Stole Your Love, and we got Then She Kissed Me. Ugh.
Yes. Steven, I'm not going to disagree with you because Love Gun is my all-time favorite album, and when you look at where Kiss was on top of the world. And I say the same thing about Alive 2. Why are you throwing Then She Kissed Me on Love Gun? Why are you throwing Any Way You Want It on Alive 2 or Rockin' in the USA? Why? I agree with you. What? Talk about an album ending on a thud. Oof.
Let me guess. Zeus likes that tune too.
No comment. Let me ask you, do you like the original version? And Then He Kissed Me? It's a pop song.
Are we talking about isn't that a Motown tune?
Yeah. Do you like the original?
Yeah, I like the Motown stuff.
Yeah, meaning like you just don't like it as a Kiss song or a Kiss album.
Yeah, I don't want Kiss doing that tune. Yeah.
Correct. Right. No, the original is what it is. It's a classic pop song.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is is it a shitty song? Is it like the Kiss did Wayne Chung Tonight?
No. I like Wayne Chung
You know what I mean? Where you're like, the song sucks too, and why did Kiss do it?
Right.
No.
All right. So that's Steven's number 3. What about you, Tommy?
Oh, Zeus, don't hate me.
All right.
Here's my number 3. Off of your buddy's solo album, I Can't Stop the Rain by Peter Criss.
But this is New York.
Yeah, that's the best part of the song. The very beginning with his Sylvester Stallone from Nighthawks. accent.
But this is New York.
New York.
Holy shit.
I didn't realize it was a Rocky part. You're right. Hey, but this is New York. Hey, what you
Terrible,
doing?
terrible song.
Love that song.
Yes.
See? Love that song. It's a great tune. It's just not a Kiss tune.
Steven, thoughts?
Oh, my God. You gave it way too much credit. First of all, that song doesn't even deserve to be in the number 3 slot.
Oh, okay.
Oh my God! What a hunk of shit that is. What that whole album is a heaping pile of shit.
Oh no. We like Peter's solo album for what it is. It's not a huge steaming.
God,
I'm gonna Arya Stark the Night King over there with my fucking dagger right now.
Oh my
shitting
God,
on Peter.
Tommy is Peter's buddy, and God bless you, Tommy. You deserve to have your favorite Kiss member like everybody else, but this record's just awful, and I can't stop the rain. I can't stop turning this song off is what I can't do.
Go ahead, Zeus.
Oh, no taste. All right, so my number 3.
This is New Hampshire.
I've talked about this song a few times, and it goes like this. That's right. Murder. High heels. What the fuck is that?
I am blown away that is not your number 1 or 2. I thought that would be
Murder. The Kiss discography.
Now, here's the thing about that song. Lyrically, it's a disaster. I actually kind of like the funk beat to it. I kind of like the music to it.
People, go listen to our Animalize review and listen to me just go off on that song. But go ahead.
Steven, thoughts on Murder and High Heels?
It's not a great song, but there's no way in hell it's worse than any of the songs that I've named, and it's no way in hell that it's worse than I Can't Stop the Rain.
All right,
you're up to number 2.
All right, number 2. Like I said earlier, I Can't Stop the Rain. I can't put it any lower than number 2. Wow. Oh my God. Number 2 for me. I Can't Stop the Rain. Piece of crap.
Okay.
Damn it.
But this is New York.
Yeah. Yo, what is it, New York? What are you talking about?
Now,
hey, Adrian, check out the size of my wig.
Hey, yo, Adrian, I got a gig to play with the band. Oh, you can't keep calling. They're going to get all upset, I got to change the words to this to Beth. You're up.
So my 1 and 2 could be flip-flopped depending on what mood I'm in, but this is this hurts because this is one of my favorite Kiss albums. I know it takes a beating, but it's one of my favorite Kiss albums. So why don't we just play the beginning? Here it is. Closer on Hot in the Shade, the steaming pile of shit known as Boomerang. Steven is putting his arms up in the air. I don't know if he's celebrating or upset.
Boomerang made your worst list?
Oh, terrible.
God dang,
terrible.
Man. Oh, my God.
Apparently, Steven likes Boomerang.
The only thing good about Boomerang was the movie.
I don't hate Boomerang. I mean, it's not on my top closer list, but it certainly ain't on my bottom.
Oh, it's absolutely that is actually one of the very few Kiss songs that I will skip if I can reach the skip button in time.
So let me ask you this: Boomerang or Read My Body?
Oh, Read My Body's terrific.
Read my body.
Come on, Steven, get to the good stuff. Oh, that song is terrific.
I'm pretty sure that Tommy might get beat up at some point in time while he's out in public. I'm just going to put that out there right now.
Put it this way, Steven, when I'm strutting my stuff with my Kiss Crocs and I'm singing and I'm telling my wife to get to the good stuff.
You got to sing it like Bob Kraft would sing it. Read my body. Put your finger in my ass.
I pray that there are pictures that emerge with Tommy in some sunscreen over his nose, some sunglasses on, a big hat, black socks, shorts, and his Kiss Crocs.
That's going to be your birthday card.
On the way to the beach singing "Read My Body."
Get to the good stuff. All right.
Holy
go ahead.
Lordy.
Go ahead.
All right. My number 2. This has already made my shit list, and we've discussed this before.
Okay.
Here you go. Hey, Geppetto, why don't you put on When You Wish Upon a Star?
How is that not? All right, I'm not going to say anything. That's terrible. We talked about this before. That's just an epic
God bless
fail.
him. God bless his mom. God bless the backstory. And it is because the backstory that's not my number 1.
Okay.
That's the only reason it's not my number 1.
Okay.
All right. So When You Wish Upon a Star, you wish that G never did that song.
Agreed.
Thoughts about that?
Yeah, it's a mess.
Steven over there?
Yeah, here's my thoughts. And, I'll let you guys get all your thoughts out of the way first, and then I'll give you my thoughts.
No, I'll save mine, but go ahead, Steve.
I'm done.
Yeah, you go.
So my thoughts are I'm going to go ahead and go into my number 1, and I could give 2 shits about a backstory because that hunk of shit is my number 1. Wish Upon a Star. The fact that you even put some other songs ahead of Wish Upon a Star, give me a break. That song is the actual emoji of poop on the album cover that I'm putting together.
Yeah, I have to. Why don't we just continue the conversation because that's my number 1 as well. So it's just, I mean, again, like you said, Zeus. I know Steven doesn't care because he's heartless. He doesn't care about the backstory because he's mean.
Yeah, basically,
it's a mess. It's just we get it, but it's just self-indulgent garbage.
But when young Chaim was in New York, this is the only song he knew. Now,
so what? You don't need to put it on your solo album. What if the only song he knew was the fucking theme to Sesame Street? Would that have been his last song?
Exactly. Put it on a bonus track on some B-side or something.
Put it in that piece of shit vault thing that he had with 2,000
put her in that
songs.
fucking bucket. Is what you just sounded like.
Put her in that bucket.
Somebody bring me a bucket. I think I'm going to throw up.
Listen. My number 1 song while we're at this was your number 2, Tommy, Boomerang. That song sucks. So here's how I look at it.
Oh, my God. I can't wait to hear this.
Okay, it's got a backstory. It is beyond ridiculous that I'm listening to it. However, it's a Disney song. It doesn't hurt the ears to listen to it. To listen to Boomerang makes me want to fucking vomit. Makes me think of like my parents off the boat from Greece, and I like listen to this American rock music, Dad. Hear this song, Boomerang. He'd be like, turn it off, it hurts. That's what I think of when I hear Boomerang. But when you hear When You Wish Upon a Star, I'd be like, oh, okay. It's just that's the difference. Boomerang is painful. Wow. When You Wish Upon a Star is just ridiculous and stupid. But the backstory moves it to 2.
So apparently Steven doesn't mind Boomerang.
I'm just saying that you just chose Boomerang over Wish Upon a Star and I Can't Stop the Rain. So, yes. Zeus, I'm pretty sure that, A, you shouldn't be doing a rock podcast. B, you should just curl up in a fetal position because there's no reason that you should like music. And C, you never heard the backstory about Boomerang. Boomerang has a backstory.
Yeah,
go for it.
Over in somebody's ass.
When Bruce Kulick got off the boat from Italy, he threw a boomerang, and it's the only toy that he had when he was a kid. And he and Bob used to play with a boomerang that they got from their elder statesman in the Australian tribe. And so
he's from Italy, but he got a boomerang from an Australian tribe with a name like Kulick.
I'm making this shit up as I go.
Yeah, you got to do better than that on the fly, my friend. You got to think like an attorney. You better be able to lie on your feet better than that. Bruce, hey Bruce, Kulicki. Where's the boomerang? And throw it around to me so I can catch it.
Let me tell you right now. Let me tell you right now. If there was any chance that story was remotely true, it would actually make it the song a little bit more likable. But it's just terrible.
Is painful.
Terrible.
Painful. Now, I don't know. Do you guys want to wait to do your honorable mentions at the end because some of them might make it on the good part, or do you want to do like honorable mentions for good and bad at the end?
At the end.
Okay.
Do them at the end.
All right. So last time we let Steven lead off. Tom, you're going to be in the middle. I'm going to start this one off. And right now we're going to do our favorite closing tracks. So I'm starting off at number 5 for me. So number 5 for me is a song that I love, and I've mentioned this before to you, Tommy. It's not a hit. It's just something about it. I can't explain it. You're All That I Want.
Oh. It's the worst song on Unmasked, and that made your top 5 closers.
I love that song.
Oh,
love
mercy.
it. The demo's even better.
Oh.
You're All That I Want. There's something about it.
And I love Unmasked. I love, but that is to me the weakest song on that album.
Oh, it's a great tune. Go ahead, Steven. I can see the look on your face.
No, I don't hate that song. I don't know if it's the worst song on Unmasked. I'd have to go through the tracks on Unmasked, but I don't dislike that song.
Okay.
There's something about it. It's just the core or the way the arrangement is or something. Now you might laugh, but it's something that reminds me of Zeppelin 2's Thank You. There's something about it. I don't know what it is.
Well, I will give Kiss credit. There is a little bit of melody in it when Gene and Paul are kind of closing the song out. There's a little bit of it kind of rises up a little bit. It starts to,
it's the demo part to it, Tom.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, listen to that. It just there's something about it that reminds me of Thank You. I don't know why, but
all right.
Yeah, I don't either.
Yeah, listen to the demo part and then tell me if it doesn't. But go ahead. You're number 5, Tommy.
All right, so I'm gonna preface my list by this is not gonna be like any surprises here. I went with songs that pretty obvious, but they're still I wasn't gonna try to be like some like these are the 5 best closes and just pick
You mean like You're All That I Want?
Pretty much. So the list was actually pretty hard for me to make. So I'm going to go – my number 5 is going to be the closer. Well, let's play the intro. You'll know what it is when you hear the beginning. So the closer off of Creatures of the Night, War Machine, is my number 5. War Machine probably would have been a little higher for me, but I got to be honest with you. I'm kind of sick of the song, but I can't take away credit for the song that it is. And I've said many times before that I find Creatures of the Night tremendously overrated as an album. I think people are just so enamored with it for some reason. I don't think it has a lot of great songs on it. I think War Machine is one of those great songs. So that's my 5th best closer right there.
I think the live version of it makes it even better with the sirens and the backdrop. I think it just – and, like I said, they've used that as wrestlers come out to themes with that now. And I've heard it more over and more and more and more over time in different shows and arenas. That song will pop up every once in a while. Yeah, I think it's great.
Okay.
Steven?
Yeah, I love War Machine. I like Creatures of the Night. I'm surprised to hear you say that about Creatures of the Night, but I like that record a lot.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't not like it. I just think it gets just too much praise heaped on it from top to bottom. But that's just my opinion. But what do you got, Steven?
You ready for my number 5?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. So the way that I put this together is not necessarily my favorite 5 closers. It's more an album. So I looked at it in sequence, how I wanted it to go. So I want the album to end with this. That's right, baby. Do You Love Me? Oh, love that tune.
Nice.
That's how this album's going to end on side 1.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
No, Not much to say about that song. It's epic. Obviously, I was personally thrilled to see it added to the set list for the End of the Road tour. It was kind of a surprise. I know some people were actually complaining about it, but I was thrilled. I've always loved that song.
Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I like it. Got a little fatigue with it, but I try to take that out of, my reasoning, but I have a little fatigue with it.
Yep.
Number 4 for me, Let the Surprises Keep Coming.
Oh, boy.
That's right. Paul Stanley's solo album, Goodbye.
Almost had that on my list. That was a tough cut for me to make. That was
What a way to end an album.
Yeah.
So goodbye.
Yeah, that was that
coming from Keep 'Em Waiting.
Yeah, that's a great song. Yeah, it's a great song. That was yeah. Steven, what do you think?
Yeah, it's an awesome tune. That almost made my list as well. It was awesome last year at the Indie Kiss Expo. The Kulik brothers did that tune.
Oh, nice.
How sweet is that, huh?
Very. Yeah. That's pretty awesome. Cool.
Tomas.
All right. So I actually had a little bit. I kind of had a tricky time putting this list together, but yeah. So my number 4 favorite closer is off of my second favorite Kiss album. So let's play this one. The closer off of Dynasty, Ace Frehley with Save Your Love. Absolutely. Dynasty, my second favorite album easily, and I love all the Ace stuff off of that album, so love that song.
That's a good song, Tommy. I'm not going to complain. I like it. Strong Ace song. I'm surprised they don't play it more or get some little bit more recognition.
Yeah.
But it's a solid song.
Yeah. Steven, I saw you shaking your head a little bit.
Yeah, I used to not like Dynasty, but my partner in crime, Hollywood, urged me to give this record another chance, and I did, and I actually like this record now.
Yeah.
In fact, he did that with Unmasked as well.
Yep.
I just accept Unmasked is sort of a different Kiss record. It's not, but it's a great record. But yeah, I like Save Your Love. Good tune.
Cool. All right.
You're up, buddy. Number 4.
All right. So this one comes off of a record that I don't necessarily love in the Kiss catalog, although I'm finding a couple of tunes here and there that I actually like, and this is one of them. Love this one off of Crazy Nights, Thief in the Night.
Good tune.
Yeah, that actually is. That's a good call. That's a good call, Steven. That's a strong song. I think I'm one of the very few people that actually really enjoy Crazy Nights top to bottom. That's another 80s album that takes a beating, but I like it.
It's just so overly polished, and I really hated the song Crazy Nights, especially as a lead-off track.
Yeah, I could see that. That's true. Yeah. Zeus, were you going to say?
No, I'm saying I like the Gene songs on that album. Almost more than the Paul songs, other than Turn on the Night. Was it Reason to Live? I think it's a good tune. I think that's one of Gene's most underrated songs in the 80s, but specifically. Good song.
Yeah.
We're up to number 3 for me.
Yep.
Tommy? That's right. I don't need no money.
Oh, God.
No pay.
Oh, wow.
That's right.
Okay.
Doing Elvis.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that was a close call for me. I mean, I shouldn't keep saying it's a close call because I don't want to give anything away. But yeah, I mean, even if you don't like The Elder, you kind of have to like a little bit,
And Gene quotes it all the time. Don't need to get wasted.
Every time I think of this song, I always think of that clip, the video clip. What is it, from the Fridays video show? Just that's awesome. It's awesome.
And the balls to stand on my own.
Yeah.
What do you think, Steven?
I think it's the best song on The Elder. Love it.
Yeah, I think that's agreed. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
So we're coming to my top 3. This is when we get a little bit milk toast cookie cutter, but I'm going to own that. I don't care. So Steven already mentioned this. My number 3 is off of Destroyer, Do You Love Me? That song actually has a lot of nostalgic value to me because it was on double platinum, and I was 5 years old when I got double platinum. And at that age, I was obsessed with drumming. I had like a little Muppet drum set. and the drums were made out of like paper. And I think it was this song, the beginning of the song with those drums, which are absolutely kick-ass. I think I broke the drums trying to play Do You Love Me on it, like just shattered the paper with the plastic drumsticks. And I mean, I've always loved the song, but it just holds a little bit of a good childhood memory to me.
I love Peter, but you probably hit the drum paper than harder than Peter hits his drums.
Well, when you listen to that intro, that does not sound like Peter. I mean, I know Bob Ezrin really coached the shit out of him and really helped with the sound of that album. But that does not sound like a Peter drum beat. But anyways, Do You Love Me? Love it. And I know Peter already picked it as well. I'm sorry, Steven already picked it as well.
We have Peter on the show? Peter Chris?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
This
on
is
his way from
Atlanta.
Ubering. He stopped in to
This
help
is
us out.
Atlanta.
But this isn't New York. Go ahead. You're up, Steven.
All right. My number 3 in the middle slot comes off of the third Kiss record, Hotter Than Hell, with a little Strange Ways.
Nice.
Good song, but that's off the second Kiss album.
It's off Hotter Than Hell, isn't it?
Yeah, second Kiss
As
album.
I just said, off the second Kiss album.
I thought Dress to Kill was the
No,
Third.
my friend.
Third.
It's not?
Nope.
All right. Well, edit all that out. Let me
No,
redo
keep
that.
all this shit in.
Leave you two fucking knuckleheads keep making all the fucking mistakes. Go ahead.
Hey, wait, hold on. Wait, I got to interject here now. What Steven did was a mistake. My version of Monster has right here, right now, is the last goddamn track.
All right, Van Halen.
Oh, Strange Ways. That song's kick ass, man. That song.
Who sings that?
It's your boy Peter.
No, it's Ace, isn't it?
It's Ace's song.
Hey, why don't you sing this song for me, Peter? I'm a little too embarrassed. I don't know the words. You
I
just
think-
wrote it. I did?
I actually think Peter singing it is one of the things that makes the song as good as it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Number two, we'll make this real quick. You already said it, Tommy. War Machine for me.
Okay.
I it's just a kick-ass song. It's badass, and it's a great way to end their comeback hard rock album, I think.
Yeah. Agreed. Yep. Yep. Totally.
So go to your number 2, brother.
This is my number 2. All right. It almost was number 1, but my number 1 is number 1 for a reason. So we are going to go. My number 2 will be this one of the debut album, Black Diamond. I'm guessing everybody has this, but who knows? But Black Diamond almost was number 1, but I had to push it out. I had to push it out of the number 1 spot.
Peter Criss just makes that whole song.
And you watch those live videos of him singing that?
Fucking goes nuts.
Yeah, good stuff.
I don't give a shit how much, Eric Carr tries. I don't care how much Eric Singer tries. They sing the song.
Yeah.
Peter Criss owns that song. It's a difference.
Yeah. Steven.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it so much. It's my number 2.
Oh, okay. All right.
Let's just keep this thing going. It's my number 1.
Wow. Okay. I figured that.
So anything else you guys want to add to about this song?
There's really not much to say. I mean, it's epic.
Classic. Yeah.
I mean, it's I said this when we were, I don't even know. I think we talked about it during our concert review episode. The song has been around forever, but I feel like, I don't know if it's because, I don't know, getting older or something. It's creeping up there as one of my favorites now. I mean, I've always liked it, but I don't know. I just seem to appreciate it more now.
I think the Peter episode really emphasized it again for me.
Yeah.
We went over his tracks and specified his stuff. And plus, isn't it the typical, like when you think of closing tracks, for me, that's why it sticks out more than anything.
Yeah.
When I think of closing tracks, the way that that whole shit at the end of it, how it brings it down, how the album ends. It's cemented in my head. That's a closing track to an album. Yeah. Especially specifically for Kiss. Yep. So that's why it became my number one.
Yep.
Steven?
Nope.
Time for my number one?
No. I was going to say, do you have any last thoughts? Tommy's still got to give his number one.
No.
Do you have any last thoughts on Black Diamond?
No, everything's been said. It's a classic.
Okay. All right, so my number one off of one of my Mount Rushmore of Kiss albums, it's obviously it's a hit, but it's got nostalgic reasons for me. So let's just hear the opening beats of this one right here. Yeah, it might be cookie cutter, but the closer off of Dress to Kill, Rock and Roll All Night. This song, again, off of Double Platinum. I was 5 years old when I got it. The version off of Dress to Kill is the only version that I will listen to. I like it better than the live version. Anytime they put it on a compilation, it's been remixed or remastered. The Dress to Kill version, the tambourines shaking in the chorus, Gene's bass line, it's perfect. The song means a lot to me. We played it at our wedding. I mean, it's just, and I know it's been overplayed. I know it's the song that everybody associates Kiss with, but for me, it was a no-brainer that this is the number one closer for me.
Well, a couple things. The only part that I disagree with is because it doesn't have the guitar solo. Without the guitar solo, I think the song's a little different. However, it does, lead yourself to think closing track because that's how they close their albums, their concerts.
Yep.
So I can see that point. Yeah, yep. I mean, it's just fatigue for me, Tommy.
Oh, I know. Well,
that's the only reason I didn't put it in.
I mean, everything we talk about is fatigue at this point, and you're right. And I tried to push that aside making this list because, like I said, I didn't want to pick something just for the sake of non-fatigue. You know what I mean? But Steven, you're number one.
All right. Like I said.
Do you have anything? I mean, everything's been said about Rock and Roll All Night, but any thoughts on that as a closer?
No, I mean, it's one of those songs where I just sort of never need to hear that song again. I think it's great. It's just, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You don't want the radio playing that and You Shook Me All Night Long again?
No, I'm good.
I know. I agree.
And Tom Sawyer and all the other same 3-4 songs.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. For me, the number one, so I told you this was an album for me, and the way I want my album to start off is with the kick in the ass. And so Making Love is going to kick this thing in the ass and get it started. So Making Love off of Rock and Roll Over.
Yep. Love it. I was waiting for somebody to pick that. And, I'll be honest with you. I love Rock and Roll Over. Making Love, it starts off awesome, but I don't really like where the song goes, but that's just my opinion.
The guitar is awesome.
Absolutely.
It's a guitar song.
Yep. That's to me, Making Love probably would have fit better on that album as an album opener than a closer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But whatever. It's a good song. It's a Kiss classic for sure. Yeah.
You don't think In the Morning I Raise My Head and I Think of Days Gone By is a better opening on an acoustic guitar? What are you talking about?
Take Me should have been the opener if you're not going to put that. Put your hand in my pocket, grab onto my rocket. That's an album opener. So that's it.
Yeah, so let's look at your album, Steven. Making Love, Black Diamond, Strange Ways, Thief in the Night, Do You Love Me? Tommy, Rock and Roll All Night, Black Diamond, Do You Love Me, Save Your Love, War Machine. Me, Black Diamond, War Machine, I, Goodbye, and You're All That I Want.
Hey, you like what you like.
Yeah. Yeah, on the flip side, worst. Stevens, When You Wish Upon a Star, I Can't Stop the Rain. Then She Kissed Me, Journey of 1,000 Years, I Walk Alone. I'm going to try to say these in a straight face. Tommy's, When You Wish Upon a Star, Boomerang, I Can't Stop the Rain, Journey of 1,000 Years, Last Chance, or whatever the fuck you said. Right Here, Right Now, or Terrible Cake.
I'll tell you right now, if I can interject real quick. Last Chance is better than Right Here, Right Now. But since I broke my own rule of not counting, bonus, albums, we'll count Last Chance, but that song sucks too.
Okay. Mine is Boomerang, When You Wish Upon a Star, Murder in High Heels. How the fuck neither of you put that in there? But
because I like
Car Jam 81 and Last Chance.
Okay.
All right. Gentlemen, do you guys have any honorable mentions?
Steven, you go first, buddy.
Yeah, so I definitely also almost made my list. And an underrated song that I like quite a bit is off of Lick It Up and On the Eighth Day. I think that's an awesome tune.
Yes.
Had that as an honorable mention, Steven, for me.
Yep. Yeah, so that almost made my list. I went back and forth with that and Thief of the Night, but ended up putting Thief in the Night in there. I think off of the newer stuff, I don't hate Say Yeah.
That was my other one, buddy.
Yep. So,
Say Yeah was, for me, that was tough to keep off on my list because that's probably my favorite song off of Sonic Boom. Yeah.
Those two were mine, Steven, for honorable mentions on the good side. Tommy, what about your good side? What else did you have?
On my good side, I had Goodbye, which you had. I had Say Yeah. I was going to put, just because I mean, it would never make the list, but it was closer to the good list than the bad list, was All Night off of Asylum.
Yeah.
But, it wasn't going to make the cut. So
you mean Insane on Ace Frehley's Second Coming? But go ahead.
Oh, God. Oh, I can't wait to talk about that album later. So yeah, those are my honorable mentions.
How about the shit album? What were your honorable mentions, Steven?
No, I think I got all the shit that I wanted to.
Really?
Out of there. Yeah, I think everything else that was on here I was okay with. I had
Fractured Mirror, just because it's a solo, but it's not a bad song. It's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just have to have the patience and the time to hear it. Like, otherwise I'm just fast forwarding. And then I also had Then She Kissed Me. Just no need for it.
Yeah, I was gonna have Then She Kissed Me as well, but just because Love Gun's my favorite album, I couldn't do it. I cheated because it should have been on my list. And then I was maybe gonna put I Walk Alone on there, but I love Bruce, so I'm giving him a break. And but yeah, I mean, there's a couple. I'm trying to look. I think we covered. I think everybody had, the only song that I haven't really seen. No,
wait a minute. Let's look at the worst side.
Okay.
Nobody made all three of our list. No, actually they did. The worst song was When You Wish Upon a Star. It was just number 2 for me.
And I think Black Diamond made us on the good list. Everybody had that.
Yeah, Black Diamond was 2, 2, and 1.
Yep.
There was no other song that was all three of our list.
Really?
When You Wish Upon a Star and Black Diamond, the only ones that made all three lists.
Okay.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah, I think every song was represented. I mean, whether good, bad, or I'm actually surprised that somebody else had Journey of 1,000 Years. I thought I was kind of on an island with that one, but Steven obviously thinks that sucks as much as I do.
Good song.
All right.
If by good you mean shitty.
Yeah. If by good you mean shitty.
Yeah. I think everything got kind of touched except for Asylum and then Asylum and Sonic Boom didn't have a positive or negative. All Night or Say Yeah.
Yeah, I had
everything. And Aces, Fractured Mirror didn't.
Yeah, I had those as honorable mentions.
Everything else got touched, I believe.
Yeah. Yep. Cool.
Oh, and the 8th Day, Lick It Up. No one picked that.
Nope, that was Steven's honorable mention too.
Yeah, it was an honorable mention, but nobody picked it.
Yep.
Yeah. So
cool.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah.
I thought it was a fun topic.
Yeah. Good exercise,
Tommy,
for sure.
we always move on to our questions now. What do you got, buddy?
All right. So we got a question. So every once in a while we'll reach out on social media for questions, and we usually get a lot, which is great. But we try to stick to 2. Tonight we'll do 3 because we got an extra guest here. So we have a very excited Kiss fan out there by the name of Otis Mack, who has been on email, Instagram, Twitter, et cetera, et cetera. Very excited about getting these questions answered. So it's kind of a two-parter, but I'm going to stick to, the main point. What do you guys think about the potential for an official Kiss biopic in the light of the Motley Crue dirt? I kind of added the Motley Crue dirt. He's, one that would start with Paul and Gene first meeting in New York City, have it go all the way up, until the reunion tour, talk about them getting into the Hall of Fame, ending blah, blah, blah. Do you think that something like that could or would ever happen? You think Paul and Gene would ever allow that?
Their ego definitely will call for it.
Okay.
They'll want to have executive producer credits to it.
Yep.
It would and could be if they do it right. If I'm them, I would make it into a motion picture. I wouldn't put it onto Netflix. I think that would make an awesome movie with all the craziness, the makeup, the outrageousness, and them breaking up, doing the reunion, breaking up at the reunion, showing up at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame together. I think that would be a great way to end a movie too. I would like that. The other flip part to that is, weren't they going to do a documentary a couple years back? They were talking about doing it, but then they were saying but Ace and Peter's part in the documentary would be old footage, whereas Gene and the rest would be real footage. Remember?
I think it was supposed to be called.
What the fuck is that?
No, I think it was supposed to be called "You Wanted the Best" or something. It was supposed to be. There were rumors about it a couple years ago about pre-production, and it fell apart. It never happened. Now, Zeus and Steven, have both of you seen Motley Crue's The Dirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
What did you think of it?
I thought it was about what I expected.
Yeah, that's what I would expect a Kiss. I would think they would kind of speed through key things, slow down through certain things. Kiss's story is too long for it to be. What they should do, and I could picture Gene doing this, if they did like a Netflix or like a series, almost like a Kissology, but have it be like that, because their story's too long to be told in a 2-hour motion picture, I think.
Yeah, agreed. They talked about they should have done that with Motley Crue, to be honest.
Agreed.
Probably would have been much better, but I think if they ever do, I think they will do a Kiss movie, no doubt. And I think it's everything you said, where they'll want, executive producer credits on it and all that stuff. I think that's for sure. I don't know that they'll take that big a piece of the band's history. I think maybe they would do something like take the beginning and go up to the first breakup. I think maybe they would do something like that and not cover any of the 80s or the reunion. I don't know. But, yeah, the other option is they do the whole thing. They do cover everything, including the reunion. But I think if they did it in a episode series, that would be great.
Yeah, agreed.
The reunion would be like them getting ready for the reunion show, and like the typical biopic, they look back and start thinking, each one of them, about their backstory, how they get back to the reunion and where they were.
Yeah.
Do something like that.
Yeah.
But, I thought the biopic would be a great thing if they did, and they allowed it to be free and open and allow themselves to get criticized. Did you ever see, now I know Tommy probably didn't, but are you a fan of the Eagles?
Oh, I love the Eagles.
Okay, so did you see the history of the Eagles on Showtime, that documentary?
Amazing.
Right.
Amazing.
And the thing that was amazing about it is that I love them. Glenn Frey is so egotistical, God rest his soul. He had no idea, or he didn't give a fuck, how much of an asshole he came across in that documentary. They look like complete dicks. They allowed the other ones to talk. And they were just like, they just allowed them to get shit on. And Glenn Frey didn't give a shit. He's like, fuck you. It's my band. I don't give a shit. I know we said we're going to be equal, but you're not as good as me, and fuck off. It just came across like such a complete dick. God rest his soul. But he didn't give a fuck. But at least it was a real breakdown of how the Eagles formed, broke up, had their shit. It's all there. And
it's
if
great.
Kiss doesn't do like that, then it's not really fair.
It was great because they had such great footage, and it was 3.5 hours long, but didn't even seem like it was 3.5 hours. And it was just, I love that documentaries like that and the Rush one have all this super old footage that is just authentic and awesome.
Yeah, I've mentioned to Zeus. I know he's not a Rush fan, but just in terms of what a rock doc should be, beyond the lighted stage, the Rush one is that's the
guys. I can respect that because I've heard you say that, Tom, and I've heard other people talk about that Rush document. I'll give you that. I'm not a fan of them, but I've heard you say that, and I've heard others say that.
Good stuff. I would just be worried about a Kiss biopic. Just because nobody in the band is ever going to agree on why Ace left. So it's going to be made through the lens of Peter, through Paul and Gene, and then Ace is going to come out in the media and flip out on the movie. I mean, it's.
But that's why you have the video where Paul and Gene each have their own part. Yeah, Ace, we told Ace he had to go, and then show Ace saying absolutely not, and let the audience decide.
Okay, so
let them figure it out.
All right, so we're moving from a biopic to a rock doc.
Yeah, but I'm saying if they were doing one or the other, if they did a documentary, it should be just like the Eagles did. Give each member, and that's the part that I was telling you, Tom, when they were doing the old documentary, they were talking about bringing it out. Yeah, they said they were the Ace and Peter parts were going to be from old footage, and everybody's like, "That's bullshit." You're going to put modern footage of Paul and Gene talking, and then only throw in old footage of Ace and Peter.
Right.
Obviously, they were under contract then, so they're not going to say anything negative about Kiss.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
All right. Next question, buddy.
So we got another one from our friend this came on Facebook from Grayson Gallegos. If Kiss started out now, would they have any success? Steven, you start.
Well, I mean, you can look at a band like Ghost.
That's exactly success. That's exactly the reference point I was going to say. Continue. I didn't mean to interrupt.
I mean, so they're proving that it can be done right now. I mean, I think it'd be a lot tougher. They would never be what they were. They would never, be to the magnitude of what they were doing. I don't think that's possible anymore. But
you know how I would know? Because I don't even never fucking heard of Ghost. So they can't be that big.
They're a newer rock band with a lot of theatricality, faces painted, like stage presence, etc.
Wonderful. But here's the part that would make this almost impossible to answer, and it's a compliment to Kiss. Kiss has so influenced music and theater and image that are you telling me that nobody else put on makeup or did stage shows like that? So many bands have copied that. So would it be original if they came out now and did it? It's almost like chicken and the egg. You can't really say because, if nobody else did that and they still came out like this now, it would be, if it was still as original, yeah, they'd probably pick up, right? But so many people have copied that now. If they came out with makeup and stuff, fucking there's like gore and stupid shit like that around. That would be normal. That'd be tame if Kiss came out now.
Yeah, I mean,
Lawless and Wasp was doing some of that shit. Motley Crue put on that shit. So where is Kiss on all that?
No, you're right, and I think that would be the. I think they would find some success because there is still a desire in an audience for theatrical rock. Like Steven and I mentioned Ghost, but you see, Alice Cooper is still out on tour. I know he's old, but even Marilyn Manson and Rob Zombie, those guys are touring. So the want for the costumes, I think, but you're right. I think then you step away and like Zeus said, those guys exist. Maybe not Alice Cooper, but Kiss paved the way. So if they came out in the midst of all these other bands doing that, what would have happened? I don't know. I think it's a good question. I think they would have some success. I do.
Yeah, they wouldn't be able to. I mean, part of what made Kiss so popular back then in the 70s was the mystique. You could never see them, and that would never, ever happen nowadays. I mean, there's no way they could keep their identities a secret.
Good point.
Yep, you're right.
All right, so last one here. This is from our friend on Twitter, Mr. Todd Herrig. Favorite opening band that you've seen open up for Kiss? He says that his is probably either when he saw Dokken or Wasp open up for them. And then in parentheses, he says it's definitely not the quote-unquote unemployed painter. So he throws in a little Jerky Boys reference for us. So favorite opening band or act that you've seen open for Kiss, Steven?
That's one of the things that sort of pisses me off about Kiss right now. They could take the road of being, such an influential band over the years, and they did such a great job early on of taking out all these young and new bands and exposing them to people, which is something that rock and roll desperately needs right now. And instead, they decide not to take out anybody and put this painter on. And to me, that's just bullshit. They could expose some of these new kick-ass rock and roll bands out there. As far as the best band I've ever seen open for Kiss, it's kind of hard. I'm trying to remember everybody I've seen because I've seen some openers over the years. I mentioned to you guys Riot and Vandenberg on the triple bill. That was awesome. And I'm drawing a blank as to who else I saw open for them. I think I saw Crocus open for them one year. So
why does that make us laugh?
Why when the guy had the biggest Lucille Ball hairdo?
I just can't remember everybody that I've seen open up for him. So,
okay. Zeus, anybody stick out in your mind?
I haven't seen Kiss. I haven't seen a good band. I don't know. All the Kiss concerts I've been to, I can't think of the opening bands. I know there have been great bands that have opened up for them, but I don't remember catching them with any of them opening up. I think Poison opened up for one. They did the split bills with Def Leppard and Aerosmith and other ones. One was the Dead Daisies. Who else was there, Tommy?
The Dead Daisies were awesome. They were good. That's my point. The one other one that we talked about all the time, which I'm not a huge fan of, I know that Steven, your partner in crime, is a big fan, is Buck Cherry.
Yeah. Oh, I like that song, but it's a ripoff of a Kiss song.
Totally.
Lit Up is what do you call it?
It shocked me.
Yeah. Just sped up.
Right.
And I just can't. I still every time that song comes up, I think, how the hell did Gene allow them to be singing about the glorification of cocaine?
Yeah, and opening
so
up
anti-drugs.
Right. Now for
right
me,
next to us, that was at the concert at the Garden. Remember, Tommy?
Yes.
Right next to us, all these little kids in little kids makeup, Kiss makeup, and the guy's like, "Oh, you guys know about your first line? You know how great that felt." Right? Come on, let me talk about it. All these other people are cheering about cocaine. I'm like looking at these parents with their little kids in Kiss makeup. Like, holy shit.
Yeah, well, so for me, it was probably the first time I saw them back in 1990. It was on the Hot in the Shade tour when Faster Pussycat and Slaughter opened up for them. Oh, it was great. Faster Pussycat was kind of a mess, which isn't a surprise. But Slaughter was pretty cool. They sounded pretty awesome.
You don't like Faster Pussycat. I think you called them a little bit overrated.
Me?
No, Steven.
I don't know.
Was that Hollywood that said that?
Hollywood's not a big fan of Faster Pussycat.
I apologize.
Okay. I actually really like Faster Pussycat. I think if they had their
great songs.
I think if they had their shit together, they probably could have made a little bit of a bigger dent in the music thing, but they were kind of a mess. If you go back and watch The Decline of Western Civilization, oh God, that band looks like they're friggin' half dead.
You ever see some of the YouTube clips now?
Oh,
they do look like they're half dead. They're passing out on stage.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, but I just to go back to what Steven originally said, Kiss could be taking bands under their wing and really exposing people, but they instead they'd rather put a friggin' painter out there. So all right, so why don't we move on from that, and Zeus, where you want to go from here?
All right, so Steven, tell us where we can listen to you and your show and your podcast. Tell us a little bit more.
All right. It's the Growin Up Rock Podcast. That's GrowinUprock.com. So no G at the end of growing. And we release new episodes every Sunday. Go out there wherever you get your fine podcasts, Spotify and Tuned In and Apple or Google Podcasts, Google Play, wherever you listen to podcasts, and subscribe to the podcast. And then it'll come automatically to you every Sunday afternoon. And then we release bonus episodes every once in a while. Every few weeks we'll release a bonus episode, so you get an extra episode during the week. And that's it.
Cool. You can find you on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Yep, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook at Growin Up Rock.
Nice.
Friend me, like me, follow me, do whatever it is you do. Stalk me.
Hold me, touch me, kiss me.
Yeah, all that stuff. We love it all. So, and we cover all rock and roll. Every episode we have a historic moment, which is usually something that ties into the episode that leads back to Kiss in one way or another. So our episodes cover it all, from Kiss to AC/DC to Van Halen to whatever, hard rock and metal from the late 70s, 80s, and 90s. And then we throw new rock and roll in there as well.
Awesome.
Guys, you will be so happy. And again, I'm sure if people listen to us, they've probably heard of Growin Up Rock Podcast. But if, by chance you haven't, you need to put them on your rotation. The hosts are awesome. They do a great job. It's a fun podcast. You're going to, even like I said, a stubborn person like me doesn't open up his mind too often. I gave it a try and I loved it. They have great chemistry. The conversation's awesome. I love the fact that they give each other shit. I love that they actually give you some information that, you probably don't know. And, feel like you get updated on what's going on in rock music, the music that we all love. And unfortunately, we don't get to see or hear much about these days other than digging up to find it. Well, if you're looking for it, that's a podcast to find it. So that being said, for us, you guys know we plug this every week. Same thing. You find us on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, Spotify, Podomatic. We're always on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Tommy is the Twitter king. He does a fantastic job running our social media. He does it also on Facebook. Our Instagram, I run it, and so it's not as active as the other ones, but it's getting there. You can email us, and we love getting emails from you guys. Email us at shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. That's shoutitoutloudcast@gmail.com. The best thing that we really love is when you guys go on like iTunes and other places and Podchaser and, give us one of those 5-star child reviews so people can find our podcast. It's very helpful. We love it. And always just stay interactive with us. We always respond. We're always interactive with you guys. Tom, you want to add something to this?
Yeah, just like Zeus said with the social media, the Kiss family and the Shout It Out Loudcast family is growing. We love having the interaction. We're starting to have like a little bit of a Twitter family that really stays together with some of their little quips and their comments. Everybody's got a great sense of humor. Everybody loves Kiss. It's a fun place to be. We try to post things for entertainment purposes, maybe a little bit of information too, but we try to get reactions out of people and just start the conversations. And I say it every week. It's always a good time to be a Kiss fan, but right now is a great time to be a Kiss fan. And we love the people that have been interacting with us, and we say it again and broken record, but we do the show for you guys. As long as you continue to listen, we'll continue to put out a show and try to keep everybody entertained and have some laughs.
Yeah. So also just want to add a couple things for me and Tommy, and we're going to get a little bit emotional here, not too much, but we really want to thank Steven. People talk about podcasts and podcast family and things like that, and, get out there, you'll get to meet new people and stuff. Sometimes, you get a little bit older and set in your ways. It's hard to meet new people. me and Tommy, we have our own identities. We have our own families. We have our own set of friends. We set out on this adventure. Who the hell knew that we'd find this guy in Atlanta or this other guy? Where the hell is Sonny in? Where the hell is he?
He splits his time between Wisconsin and San Francisco.
There you go. Where other than like the podcast world that we'd find these people that we can now call friends? The fact of the matter is Sonny went out of his way to help us in the beginning, befriend us, come on our show. He introduces us to Steven. Steven goes out of his way, spends hours with us to help us with some technical stuff in the background, doing stuff. He's got a great sense of humor. These guys are now what we would call friends, only in the podcast world. And I can say this, and I know Tommy is right there with me. I mean, I know we've been giving each other shit, but honestly, from the bottom of our hearts, me and Tommy, we sincerely thank you. We really appreciate it. You restore some faith in humanity that there are some good guys still left out there. And we consider you a friend. And we honestly hope and wish nothing but the best for you, your show, and your listeners. And same thing for Sonny. We can't thank you guys enough, and we hope that we'll continue rocking and being maybe on each other's shows for years to come and keep entertaining the masses, I guess. So thank you. I know that's for me. And Tommy, anything you want to add for Steven?
Yeah, I want to kind of definitely continue with that thought because, people who listen to the show, they know that Zeus and I, we have a great time on the show. We're smart asses. We have our little things here and there. We bust balls. We shit on Kiss. We love Kiss, etc. But there are many times where, I will, there's not a lot of emotion on this show, but there are times when I will share some thoughts with Zeus. And the fact that we're, recording our 19th episode with, somebody like Steven who's been doing this forever, who's a pro, who has a background that Zeus and I could only dream of having, and to have him into our little world here is it's just a really cool thing. And like Zeus said, it kind of makes, like Zeus said, it restores that faith that there are good people out there. Kind of like new rock music. There's good people out there. Sometimes it takes a little bit of effort and energy to find them, but they're there. And and we hope that this will continues for sure.
Yeah. So enough of kissing his ass. And it's funny because I did hear you guys talking about it on your last episode about people if they want to get into the podcast world. And we hope other people find this. And you were giving some advice in telling people, yeah, you can go out there and do it. Anybody can do it, but put some time. You gave some advice about put some time, make it a worth listening show. I don't give a shit how talented you are or funny you are or smart you are. If your audio sucks, I don't want to listen to it. And but you encourage people, and we encourage people. If you guys are out there and you're like, you know what, they're funny. I think I have some fun ideas or good ideas or something to talk about. We encourage you guys to do it. Who the hell are me and Tommy to do this show?
This all started around the holidays, last fall, Christmas time. Zeus and I kept constantly messaging and talking about Kiss. And we'd be talking and we'd be like, let's do a podcast. We had literally no idea what the hell we were doing. We barely have an idea what we're doing now.
Yeah, but I'm a fucking attorney. What the hell do I know about setting up microphones and how to record an episode and shit? I didn't know anything about this stuff.
But like Steven said, if you have a good personality with some good content and you put the time and energy into audio quality is the biggest thing. Steven, you said it. There have been, and I can attest this, there have been podcasts that I see and I'm like, ooh, this looks like an interesting podcast. Let's see what the topic is about. I turn it on, and it sounds like they're recording underwater.
Yeah, it's shit. I mean, yeah, absolutely. Look, this is podcasting has renewed my love of music. We're just, we're just hanging out. We're shooting the shit about rock and roll and having some good laughs. We're not making any money. This was never the idea behind it. Sonny has a life. I have a life. You guys have lives. 90% of the rock podcast community have actual regular lives where they go to work and, do the 9-to-5 thing, and they have spouses and they have kids and all this stuff. And it's great to reach out and be able to meet people at my age, be able to reach people in all parts of the world and end up with new friends like yourself and Zeus. I mean, the bottom line is I'm a smart ass, and I found a couple other smart asses that aren't afraid to shoot the shit about rock and roll with me. And so the more the merrier. I mean, I've gone on cruises now with Sonny, and it's amazing because Sonny's a good guy, and you guys seem like good guys too. Although when the camera goes off, who the hell knows what you're doing? You're putting on skin and wearing dresses. I don't know, but hopefully over time we'll find that out, right? So it's great. You guys are funny. You entertain me, and that's the bottom line for me. If you entertain me and you make me smile and you make me laugh and you talk about Kiss, well, then it's win-win for me. Because certainly when you guys came out, I said, yeah, awesome. That's just what the world needs. Another fucking Kiss podcast. Jesus Christ, how many of these things we got? But hey, you know what? More power to you. I enjoy it.
Awesome. Thank you, Stephen.
So with that being said, any famous last words for us?
I've got some absolute words of wisdom that I would like to share in my final words.
Please go ahead.
Well, it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. You bent over, baby, and let me be the driver. Just a cut of pink. Wouldn't believe me if I told you, but this time you bit off more than you can chew. My, yeah. Just listen to this, babe. I got nasty habits. It's a fine line. So many girls and so little time. When love rears its head, I want to get on your case. Ooh, baby, want to put my log in your fireplace. Maybe, baby, you want to get laid. Burn, bitch, burn. Ooh, burn, bitch, burn. Oof, burn, bitch, burn. Ooh. Burn, bitch, burn. Thank you.
Now, is that Shakespeare or is that what are we reading from here? Oh, that's beautiful.
That was from the Old Testament.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful.
That's the best words of wisdom I can leave you boys with.
I love it. I love it.
Oh, man. Tommy.
Take the reins of power and seize them. Draw the battle lines. Armageddon's just a matter of time. Tear down the voice of reason. Let the arrows fly. Your freedom's just a state of mind.
Great tune. Well, you sold your soul in virginity. You can't rape a heart of gold. Yes, you're born to rule. It's destiny. Now it can be told. Yes.
Oh, God.
Lyrics to live by. Gentlemen, thank you. Stephen, thank you. Tommy, thank you.
Stephen, thank you, buddy.
Thanks, gentlemen. I appreciate it. It was a good time.
Awesome.
Thank you. Peace out, Girl Scout.